Hi guys, this is a redirect to my reaction to episode 627, 628 and 629 of One Piece. So most of you guys suggested that I actually react to the rest of the filler episodes, and this was a short filler arc, so yeah, I decided to react to episodes 627 and 628, which are filler episodes, and episode 629 was a canon episode, so which is starting the next arc, which is called Dressrosa. So firstly, I'll just say my thoughts regarding the short filler arc. I thought it was alright. It was okay. Pretty good. I did like Breed's power, but I absolutely hated his character. He was so evil. He was so mean. Like it just, oh man, I don't like any form of animal abuse. That really got to me. So like when he was like punishing the seal Dugong and punishing Chopper, and then like making Luffy and Law fight against each other, like it was so despicable. It was just so sadistic the way he was like using it like a performance, putting on a show of making them, of commanding them to kill each other and commanding them to do certain things. It was just horrible. And it was horrible for the other animals to just watch, because they really didn't want to do what they were doing, what they were forced to do. Like the seal, like he was like really good friends with Luffy, and it was really trying to fight back and talk back to Breed. And he did manage to stop Luffy and Law from killing each other, so that's good. But unfortunately, Breed decided to make the seal kill Luffy and Law instead and throw them out to the sea. So that was really bad. The fact that he made the seal, it was so sad. Like we saw like all these memories as well, these flashback memories of the seal and Luffy having a good time. Like he really cared about Luffy. Like he was a true Nakama. He might not be part of the actual crew, but like even if he's just a filler character, like he really respected Luffy. You know, they just had a great close bond. So like for him to like kill Luffy and Law, like, oh man, that really crushed the seal, and it crushed Chopper. Chopper really fought back, well, not against the actual ability. Like no one was able to like. I was like thinking that maybe it might be possible for someone who had a strong enough willpower to go against the ability just by themselves, if you get what I'm trying to say. So you know how like people can like control, because sometimes like in animes or in shows that I've watched, like if you have a strong enough willpower, that's enough to fight back against someone else's influence, someone else's control over you. So I was hoping Luffy or Law would be able to do that, but that didn't work out. They couldn't. They really were just very much controlled. Which shows how powerful Breed did, and he was very powerful to control all these animals. Yeah, and yeah, it was really sad seeing all these animals getting beaten by the whip. It was so awful. I really couldn't watch those kind of parts. But like, and then like when Luffy and Law came back, and Law just coming out with all this brilliant idea. So basically, Law figured out that if you don't hear what Bree's command is, then you can actually you still have your free will. Basically, you won't be controlled as long as you don't hear the command, which is why Breed has those loudspeakers, so that he can make sure that all the animals can hear what his commands are, and once they hear what his commands are, then they'll be controlled. So Law actually figured that out, and I figured that out as well. I was correct. I wasn't entirely sure, but I was correct in thinking that, oh, why didn't the first command work against Caesar, and then and then it worked, and I was like, why didn't the first one work on him? But it's because Caesar didn't hear the first command. So I was actually correct. And I was just like blown away when Law figured that out and said that as well. So Law is just very intelligent. He's always been so clever, and I highly respect him. I really like these episodes nowadays with Law interacting with the Strawhat Pirates and being a good ally with them. Like, he might not be actually part of the crew, but you know what? Strong ally, strong bond. Like, I just love that Law is in these episodes nowadays. Because like he's so badass, he's so clever with everything that he does. So he managed to actually save both him and Luffy from getting thrown in the sea using his teleportation ability. Yeah, that was really cool. Um, and making sure that Caesar didn't escape as well. Um, what bugged me though was how it ended with, like, it was just like one punch. It was technically two punches because it was the Seal and Luffy who punched Breed. So after he transformed into this really big monster, and to be honest, I didn't quite understand how his ability was allowing him to do that, to transform like that, considering that it's just a control based ability. Um, but like, because he had these like huge muscles that were popping out, and he had this large amount of hair that was coming out as well, and like he just seemed a lot stronger. And then the colors were turning red, and I didn't quite understand that kind of influence exactly. But nonetheless, like Luffy and the seal, they punched the shit out of Breed, and then he just flew out. And then the collars were broken because obviously he was so injured to the point where his power influence was not working anymore on the animals. So that's good, and the straws. So that's good. Um, I just thought that was a little bit abrupt. Like, and also another thing, like we saw a little bit of backstory, but it was just like hints, like a little bit of backstory being thrown about how Breed really hates humans. And from my understanding, I didn't quite entirely understand why he hated humans so much, but from what I could see was that he didn't get along with his own pirate crew or crew members in general. And those crew members were against his ideas. He wanted to create this dream kingdom. Um, or like just they were just against him, and I guess he didn't find any friend that was loyal to him, and that's why he wanted slaves to be loyal to him, because he couldn't he kept getting betrayed. He kept getting isolated, and no one would be on the same level as him, be on the same page as him. No loyal friends. That's quite sad, really. But like, that still doesn't excuse his despicable evil acts against the animals and people that he's trying to control. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's what happened. So that's what happened in the filler arc. It was pretty good. It was a good. I mean, it's a filler arc, so like you can't expect it to be amazing. But like for a short filler arc, I think it was slightly rushed though. But I mean, it's alright. I'm glad that I reacted to it. So now to the canon episode. So DOFLAMINGO resigned as a warlord, and he and Dressrosa are not happy about that. He was a charismatic leader, a charismatic king, so he was an actual king. So he's resigning from his position as king of Dressrosa, and I guess that's really bad for certain businesses that he's created. Like how some people were like reading the newspaper and were like, how is the arm still gonna go down now with the Don Quixote family if DOFLAMINGO is no longer the king of Dressrosa and resigned as a warlord? So I guess it's going to affect businesses, and that's why some people are like sad about it. And also he was very popular because, you know, charismatic people are popular. But yeah, and then like the Strawhat Pirates were like reading the newspaper on that. And they also read that Kid, Basil Hawkins, I forgot what the other guy's name is. They basically formed an alliance. So some of the worst generation members formed an alliance because they also want to kill one of the 4 emperors. But they didn't state who. If it's Kaido, then obviously they're going to clash with Law and Luffy, who want to take down Kaido themselves. So that's a big problem if it happens to be Kaido that they're also after. Yes, so that's going to be a problem if that's the case. If it's not, then I mean, I don't know, but I'm assuming that they are going to go after Kaido just like Law. That's gonna cause some conflict though. Also, yeah, so DOFLAMINGO, he's basically delegating someone to kill the Strawhat Pirates, and he showed this treasure, and it turns out to be Ace's devil fruit. He showed it to these people on these playing card pip thrones. Now, I don't know who they are, but they seem to be very, very important people. Warriors. One of them is like the hero of the Colosseum. So I guess they're like really powerful warriors. I was talking to and I was telling one of them to kill the Strawhat Pirates, Strawhat, and I was like showing them Ace's devil fruit, and that I guess he's gonna try to blackmail Luffy about something. Because he has Ace's devil fruit, and obviously Luffy doesn't want anyone to take Ace's devil fruit and use Ace's power, so for evil purposes. So that's really bad. I'm just wondering, like, is that literally the original devil fruit? How the hell did he manage to obtain that devil fruit? And I thought that once you eat a devil fruit, then that power is already taken. So how does that make sense? Unless the devil fruit power, once you die, that devil fruit power goes back to the devil fruit. Oh man, I'm so confused. Because I remember, like, some of you guys told me, like, a very, very long time ago, that once you eat a devil fruit, then that power is taken. It's like consumed already. So no one else can have the same power as you. So unless that's a man-made devil fruit power to replicate Ace's devil fruit, then I don't know how. I don't know. Anyway, so that was a shocking reveal. The fact that he's got Ace's devil fruit. Yeah. So Strawhats are finally heading to Greenbit, which is the north of Dressrosa. So this is the start of a new arc, and I'm looking forward to what shit goes down, because it's going to be very intense. Anyway, what you think of these episodes, let me know, and stay tuned for more.